Mickey, frustration, disappointment? So what are the emotions
Yeah,
after
disappointed. Dropped 2 points at home. Frustrated, really. I thought at spells we played some really good football, and then at spells we just take our foot off the gas and switch off a little bit. And no disrespect to them, but they've had one shot on goal in the whole game. And they're not a bad side. Teams come here and want to do a number on you, and at the moment we're not putting teams to bed. We haven't scored from open play. That's frustrating. All right, it's a good set piece we've scored from, but I just think at the times when we're dominating games, we're not causing them problems. And second half, their goalie hasn't made what I would call a serious save. That's a credit to them. It's a credit to them defensively in the way they set themselves up. But I don't think with the players we've got in that park, it's good enough. I think we've got to be better. And then you can't keep relying on your back four and your keeper to keep a clean sheet to win a game 1-0. And we've just chatted about that in there. Not too much negativity. At the end of the day, it was 17 unbeaten. But it's got to be better, and we've got to up ourselves, and we've got to we need some fluidity. We need to just keep ticking games off. We go 1 week, we have a game, then we don't. It's a bit frustrating.
When we spoke before Christmas, you said, that fortnight break and the prospect of Tunbridge Wells being off, but that game was played, you drew that one, and then, you had another week off last week. Today was, I think, your third successive draw. Stop-start, that's not helping.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
You wouldn't use that as an excuse.
No, it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. But, when we're playing and we're flying and when we're passing the ball as well as we do, we create more chances. And I just think today we never created enough. I know they keep made 2 great saves first half, but it's just in the final third. I just don't think it's right at the moment, and we're not on the same wavelength, and that's what's happening. And then you're going to invite pressure on at some point, and that's happened today. And frustration is the word, because I know what we've got and I know what we're capable of. But you're right. You can't keep going one game, then there's a week missing, then another week missing. I'm not being funny, but we haven't had a midweek game for I can't remember how long. And then you go and look in February, and I think we've got about 15. It's it's crazy, and it's just the way it's done. But when you're trying to get some momentum, that's it. Luckily we've now got ourselves a big enough squad, so we'll cope with that Saturday midweek scenario as it comes along. But it is fluidity, and that's how we play. We play like that as a team, and when we're moving the ball well and passing it, we look a good side. I think we need to be more ruthless. It is. Frustration is the right word.
You watch the game as a manager, we watch it as spectators, and we see players getting into positions and we want them to shoot. But they want an extra pass.
Do you know what that is? And I say it, that's confidence. And that's when you're on fire as a striker, and I played there, and everything you touch goes in the back of the net. And then when things are tight and you're at the top of the league and there's a little bit of pressure on you, and it's 0-0 or you're 1-0 up or whatever, and the ball comes to you, and 9 times out of 10 you'd pull the trigger and it's a goal. And you don't. We look for that extra pass. That's confidence. And you get some of them guys, and we go and score 2 or 3 goals in the next, few games. All of a sudden, it's a different level. And then all of a sudden, they're looking going, well, we're on the back of winning 4 games. Everything they do will come off. Rory's had 2 great shots first half. Keeper's made 2 great saves. Now, one of them goes in, like he did the other week for him. Then his confidence has risen. Bill's come off the bench. He's got an opportunity there to shoot. Doesn't take it. Tries to pass to Frankie. It breaks down. It's just
Youngie gets into a simple position.
Yeah, exactly.
And tries the extra pass.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's another one where Youngie's broke lines again. He's pulled it back to the edge of the box, which for me is a good pass. And we've got to be attacking that, and we don't.
Yeah.
And we just questioned that in there. We can't look at it and go, we haven't created anything. We have. We just, in that final third, I mean, the worst one for me was we had a set piece and we put a great ball in. It lands at the far post, and no one's brave enough or got enough desire to go and attack it and get that winning goal.
Yeah.
Frustrating again.
Yeah.
But it's stuff you need to work on, and we need to work on that Tuesday, and we need to knuckle them down and look at it and say, look, this is where we need to be. We've just had that discussion in there, and it is a discussion. It's not heated. No. And the boys know. They're not silly. They want to win games of football. And they're all here to win this league title. So we just got to knuckle down and do what we're good at and get back to winning ways.
The goal that you scored was a good one. Jason showed himself to be a quality passer of the ball, and he's not bad at a set piece either.
Do you know what? You look at it, and probably the 2 best passers on the park today were both left-footed. And it tells you something. Peter Swin is a quality player, and when he's on the ball with his left foot, he's going to make something happen, and a couple of times he nearly did. And JT's the same. It just seems one of them things that left-footed players are quite cultured, and they've got that, and he's bent that in, and that's another, I think it's 2 in 2 he's got now, which is great. But we're just not creating enough, and that's the bit. Not clear-cut stuff. And we go back to the Canterbury game. For me, we could have been 4-5-0 up at half time. We weren't. And in second half, we never created enough. And I think today we've had a 15-20 minute spell where we've stopped doing what we do. We've asked the question why. We understand it, and we've looked at it today, and that's got to be rectified. But yeah, it is frustrating. But again, we haven't lost. So, even though you want, 3 points, we haven't lost. We're 17 unbeaten, which is incredible, really. The last league game we lost again was in August. So, but we've got to upstep it. We've got to really start putting down a marker now and start pushing on. And they know that, and I'm expecting a good reaction this week, and I'm sure we'll get it.
As you've alluded to, it's a busy month of February, starting next week at Sheppey. You've got 2 away now, Sheppey and Bearsted, then 2 at home. It is a busy month, but you are and have increasing your squad options. You brought Jack Bradshaw in, you brought the young lad Wilson in from Hyde this week, and you've also got another signing in the offing. So, you could have some new faces inside if you feel the change is needed.
We have to do that, and we have to do that. There's no way that group of guys in there, whether there's 17, 18 in there, are going to be able to play every single game to the end of the season. That's not going to happen. So we know that when we go Saturday, Tuesday, I can pick a team on a Tuesday night that's very, very fresh with enough ability to still go and get us a result. Because a lot of squads maybe not be as big as ours with the calibre of player we got. So I've made that aware. The boys know that. So we brought Ben in. That's good cover. He'll be a great addition. We're looking at one at the moment, which hopefully we'll get over the line by tomorrow. And again, it gives us a different dynamic with that signing. So we're looking at all the angles, what we need to do to go and affect games. We don't want to change it up too much and strip it out, because we don't need to do that. What we are doing is putting round pegs in round holes, so that when we go into this final run, we know that Saturdays, we get a couple of knocks on a Saturday, it's not going to affect us on a Tuesday night.
And the goalkeeper, Jack Bradshaw, who you know well, was part of your double-winning team at Erith and Belvedere. You got him on board to replace Ben Bridle Card.
Yep.
Didn't have much chance with the goal today.
No chance. And it's the only shot he's had, which is frustrating. And he's frustrated because, as he said, it should have been a clean sheet. But it's a double deflection. It's a great hit from the guy. And that's it. But we haven't picked him up on the edge of the box, and he's come out and he's smashed it back. Shame. It is a shame, but it's is what it is, mate.
And a word about Ben Bridle Card. The news not good of him. He's got a rather nasty tear in his quad.
Yeah, he has, which we knew it was something quite bad. So we've sent him for a scan. We've paid for it for him, even though we're not his parent club. We've looked after him, and we've had it looked at. Now he's got to go back and see a specialist, and then see what the what we're going to do with it next, whether he goes just to let it heal or whether he has an operation. So we'll worry about that. But for the immediate future, he won't be around, and that's why I covered it with Jack Bradshaw.
Tight at the top though, Crowborough have won today, Whitstable have won today, but you're still top. You're the one they've got to catch.
Yeah, and everyone wants to, absolutely. And I think if we were second or third, we'd be doing the same. But it's a long way to go yet. There's twists and turns. There'll be a lot of things happen between now and the end of the season, and we've just got to keep plugging away. Don't lose. That's the most important thing. Don't lose. Turn these draws into wins, and I'm sure we'll get back on the wagon and we'll be fine.
Are you surprised Sheppey are not as dominant a force, certainly result-wise, as they were last season?
It's difficult, really, because we haven't played them and I haven't seen them. So, if you haven't seen a side, you can't put your finger on it. But, as a manager, you put together what you think's right to start the season, and if it doesn't work, then that's how it goes, and you've got to strip it out and try and do what you can.
Yeah. But they're a big crowd there. The atmosphere will be good, and
everyone wants to beat top of the league.
Yeah.
No matter who you play, whether we go and play Rochester or Hollands and Blair at the bottom, they all want to beat it because they don't want you to win it, which is brilliant, and that's how it should be. Yeah. You don't want teams to roll over and go, they're top of the league, let's just, turn up and get 3 points. And, so it'll be a tough game next week and the week after and right the way to the end of the season. We're fully aware of that.